They don't want a man that don't make over $1 million a year.
They be talking about
He girl
5, 10 million.
20 years old.
Do they understand how few people in the world make $10 million a year?
Nope, they don't.
Because when you say, okay, I want a man that's, let's say, over 6 foot tall, you're talking about probably less than 8% of the population. Well, I want a man that's educated, got at least a master's degree, maybe a secondary degree. You shrink it even more. I want a man to make 10 million. Now you're talking about 0.5%. So you want a man that's over 6 foot tall, that's educated, that's well versed, that likes to travel, makes $10 million a year. Now that man with all those attributes that you want, gotta want you.
No, but I want all of y'all. And that's what they don't understand. Like, they all fishing for the same dude.
Yes.
And the sick part about it is that, like, I respect the women that actually go get bread themselves and that are successful themselves, but they don't want to invest into no man that don't got as much as them.
Yeah.
So on the flip side of things, that's what it's come to for us in the position that we are. Like, we gotta blindly just trust that a woman really likes us, and that we don't care. Man, when I meet a woman, I don't care if she ain't gotta have nothing.
True.
We can go on Las Vegas Boulevard right now and wake up a homeless woman off the street. I can go take her to Miami,
And
back
clean
home
up.
with me, put the ass on.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
She'll love me for life. Boy.
Yeah.
You really changed her life.
Yeah.
But then you got the other woman that think that that's the entitlement that come with it because she used to dealing with a lot of successful men, but they never wifed her.
Right.
It was only temporary.
Yes.
Like, a lot of the successful men got some women that's respectfully not as beautiful as the women that as they side pieces,
Right.
but they more thorough and they at home and they know where their loyalty lie.
I think one of the things that is interesting to me as I just try to observe is that like they're saying, it seems, I could be wrong, it seems as if men will clean up a woman no matter where she's at in her life. He sees potential and he's willing to commit to writing potential all the way through. If he gets with her and she's crazy, then he just got a crazy girl. He's not afraid to tell his homeboys and his friends, even if his homegirls start coming at, man, you know, she's crazy, blah, 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 blah. He's like, yeah, man, but I love her. There's something about her. I can't let her go. That's what a man will go in a relationship kind of positioning himself for. Whatever she presents herself as, that's what he's locking himself in with. And it doesn't matter. That's a commitment and loyalty. Some might question whether it's dumb or not, but I mean, that's, to men, I think loyalty is a big thing. It's an important thing. And so when they lock in with a girl, even though she's crazy, it's going to take them a little while to leave her because they feel like I can fix her, you know, and it's not in a bad way that they're trying to say that, but they kind of feel like on the other hand, though, you know, I think what men nowadays are struggling with when it comes to when the shoe is on the other foot and the woman is the most successful, she doesn't look at a man and say, hey, I see potential in him. I can fix him up. And not only do I see potential in him and I'm going to fix him up, I'm going to stay till the wheels fall off. So if he's crazy, I'm staying. Right. So what a man will do for a woman, the woman won't do for a man. And a lot of times I hear, this is just what I heard. I'm not saying every woman says this. I'm just saying what I hear women saying is that, why should I do that? That's a man's job. And it's, you know, I think to myself when that's the reason that's a man's job. Sometimes it feels like, I'm just going to use the word feel. Sometimes it feels like that's a man's job. And I'm pretty sure you could tell me some ways it's opposite. But just from my perspective, I'm not trying to disparage anybody, but I'm just saying sometimes when someone says it feels like a man's job or that's a man's job. It feels like an excuse to keep up bad behavior when you know that it ain't right. It's just what you want to do. And this is something that you don't want to let go. And I'll be honest with you. Sometimes you would be the same person that would get on a man's case every opportunity you get. You would get on a man's case, run him down, stay on his back. And if he'd be like, babe, why are you on my back all the time? I wouldn't have to be on your back if you didn't have a problem with this, that, and the third. Okay. But if the man did the same thing to you, it would be a problem. And you feel like you have a reason to be on this case. But if he were to turn it on you, you'd be like, get off my back. Don't say nothing to me. I just don't do it because I feel like that's your job, or I feel like I shouldn't have to. Whether that's logical or not, I'd be struggling. And I'm telling you, I'll be struggling to understand the logic behind it. I'll be struggling so bad it hurts to understand the logic. I really want to be with you when you say, I can't do it for whatever reason. It doesn't always have to be, because that's a man's job. Sometimes it's just because you don't want to do it. And you find some other reason why you shouldn't have to do it. Another common excuse. Look, another common excuse that I hear is, it's different. And I'd be like, in what way? Oh, that's a different scenario altogether. Okay, you know what? I want to be open to all perspectives and points of view. How exactly is it different? Or it just is. You can't compare. Sometimes because you don't want the comparison to go through, and you know, if we think through this comparison, it might lead to a logical conclusion that leads you to have to change. And so you stop me right there and say it's different, and the conversation becomes about something way different. Like, are you comparing me to an animal? Or are you comparing me to an inanimate object? No, babe, I'm just trying to make an example. Right? And that would give, in some cases, a woman a reason to storm out of the room and say, I'm done with this. If she has the upper hand in terms of money, then the money becomes the reason why she says she can leave. But for a man's not going to get the money and say, oh, I'm leaving. You might beg to differ. I get it. I understand. I'm pretty sure you could tell me several examples, not from the movies. Don't come quote me Tyler Perry movies. Don't do that. I don't want to hear it. Quote me something real. Quote me a real scenario. I don't want to hear. This is the thing I hate hearing the most. Men do that all the time. I hate it because it's just like, give me an example. Okay, I'll ride with you if you can give me an example. But a lot of times it's just a blanket statement. They don't really know nobody who does that. Or I heard from have you seen it? Have you ever seen it? A lot of times, no disrespect, but a lot of times, and I'm not saying, look, I'm not saying men are perfect, but I'm just saying a lot of times men will clean up women and they won't expect nothing in return. Now, the only thing that they do expect is companionship. What you think I'm out here for? You think I'm out here just to start raining money on different people? I mean, what you get up and come to my crib for? I need you to use your brain. I need you to think. You can't just walk up in nobody's crib, somebody paying for you and this, that, and the third. You can't just walk up in somebody. Even if this wasn't about us being boyfriend and girlfriend, you can't just take from somebody and walk up in their crib. I don't understand this idea of thinking that everybody got to be a good Samaritan to you and want nothing in return, not want any kind of companionship, want any sort of reciprocation. What is that about? And you think you justified by going and say, oh, if you take me off the streets and clean me up, I don't got to give you nothing. But if I take you off the streets and I clean you up, then you owe me everything. And you got the nerve to this, that, and the third. I mean, it's the same thing. Might as well. Because I feel like a lot of times for women, it becomes a badge of honor when they make money, and as it should. Absolutely. If you struggle to get money, you've gone through school, you've done everything that you need to do. Congratulations. But don't come over here acting like ain't nobody else went to school. Don't come over here acting like ain't nobody else got money but you. Don't come over here acting like don't nobody else pay their bills but you. What are you talking about? What are we even talking about? All that therapy to stand over somebody when you get the upper hand and gloat. What kind of person does that? What kind of healed person? Oh, a petty one. Is a petty person really healed? I'm just talking. I'm just talking.
Wow. It's I read somebody said it. I heard it. Mm-hmm. They say men want to accumulate money to take care of others. Mm-hmm. Women want to accumulate money to become independent.
Correct.
True. It's sad, but it's true.
Because women will say, I'm not changing who I am. I'm a blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. Men says, I love you. I'll change.
Right.
Mm-hmm. See, but the thing is, though, us as men, we be lying too. When we ready to change, we gotta put the fine print. Like, I'ma change when I'm ready to change.
He would know more than anybody, cause, hey man, look, that boy was out here in the streets doing some foul stuff. Foul stuff. I mean, dogging these women left and right. It's like, stop messing with him. Leave him alone. Red flag.
So if you gonna wait it out,
yeah,
or you ain't,
right?
And that's really what the reality of this
Correct.
whole situation is. But I'm trying to find a balance because it's like, man, Shannon, be living in an 8-bedroom house, dolo. I ain't got no dogs. That's not you got the dogs.
Yeah, I got 3 dogs. Yeah,
that's why it's kind of when my most depressing part of my life is the holidays. When everything shut down, when don't nobody want to work no more, and the studio, I got to give grace to all my staff that got kids and all. Now you just sit at the phone looking at matching pajamas and all this shit. You want to cry. You sitting there drinking eggnog, crying and shit. You know what I'm saying? But January 1st hit, New Year's Eve, they back outside. And we back to work.
So is it you can be alone and not be lonely. Mm-hmm. You can be lonely and not be alone.
True.
Or you can be alone
and still be lonely. I mean, I think for a large portion of my life, I was like, man, why don't I could just be Eddie Murphy from Boomerang. New girl with me every other day of the week.
Right.
Do whatever I'm doing. But that's still also, that's hard for work too.
Yes.
It's also draining. It's a lot of different personalities that you got to put up with and all that other stuff. Like,
that's Cold Shannon to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Pride.
Because, you do stuff like that and you exhaust. Eventually you understand. I mean, that's a young man's game, because eventually you exhaust yourself and you're like, dang, I really, because everybody's different. The more, because it's just natural. The more you get in a relationship with somebody, the more they start pulling on your energy, whether it's, it's a playful thing, it's friends with benefits. Like, you just start caring about people and it pulls you in. So you waste a lot of energy giving it out, trying to have somebody new every single time. You telling them what they want to hear, but what they really feeding into it. And part of them is wanting to be number one and take over number one, because even though they know that this is not like a serious situation, They just want to be number one in a not serious situation. Like they want to be number one in a situation where there is no number one. They just want to know that they mean something more than everyone else, right? They can't stand the fact that, you know, I'm walking into a situation and I might just be one of the other ones, and I'm fine as long as I'm doing my thing. But also too, I want to be, people do this weird thing it's really weird to me. People do this weird thing to where it's like, you can break up with somebody, you know, a lot of baby mamas and baby daddies do this stuff to where they break up and they go get other partners, but they still be looking back at each other like, oh, you always be my first love. We always gonna have a connection. And it's like, I mean, what that mean? It ain't strong enough for y'all to have stayed together. No, but I made a promise. Wherever I'm at, I'm always gonna be there for you. You always gonna be there for me. Why? Because people can have friends. I mean, and we just decided we're better as friends. I mean, that's fine. But cut the lovey-dovey stuff. Y'all don't really love each other like that. Why? Who are y'all trying to prove something to? You trying to prove something to yourselves? And it gets weird because still be doing stuff like you got a partner and y'all in the bathroom when each other's having a shower. And you use the fact or the excuse that y'all have already slept together and seen each other as a reason to keep walking into each other's intimate space. If you want to be together, then just be together. Otherwise, this whole, oh, I'm number one in your life, but I'm going to go out and do something else with somebody else. Oh, but I better be number one in your life. Well, am I number one in your life? We'll talk about that. See, that means you got some sort of issue with wanting everybody to perceive you as number one, and you just like a lot of attention. That's really what it is. Now, the problem with that is you trying to get a high off of other people at their expense, and you just want to feel needed. That's really all it is. That's what I be saying. All that therapy that people be swearing by, just to come down to the fact that you love to be needed. You and your way of feeling needed is to be in multiple relationships and getting adoration from all of these relationships, and all of these relationships thinking and proclaiming you as number one in their lives. Meanwhile, you ain't proclaiming yourself as number one to any of them. It's just a game to you. You string them along. You got to cut that out. Anyways, let me know what you think in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. Till next time. Take it easy.